Hi everyone, let's talk about Gruner Veltliner. So, we have the Volker Gruner Veltliner here. It's called von Donabaum Gruner Veltliner 2019 vintage. We are in Austria. So we're back in Austria. So this is a great introductory Gruner Veltliner. It's being sourced from a little bit broader area. Down the road, I'm going to have some more dialed in site-specific Gruner Veltliners, but this is going to be the introduction to the category for many of you who join the wine club. And Gruner Veltliner, if you have not acquainted yourself with the varietal, you should. It should definitely be on your short list of varietals that are your BFF, and I'll explain why. It's a little bit under the radar. It's not necessarily mainstream, and that's okay. That's okay. That's not everything is meant to be on everyone's radar. So Gruner Veltliner. Gruner Veltliner is a varietal that you tend to find in Austria. Occasionally you'll find expressions from other parts of the world, but I encourage you to try it from its home base because that expression is true to its roots, so to speak. And I think that, in a quick side note, when you're getting to know new areas of the wine world, it's always great to go to the classical region that it was founded in and find a classical expression, and then you can kind of explore other examples from other parts of the world, especially later on when we transition into more kind of new world offerings down the road after a good foundation has been laid for some classical expressions. That's always fun. So with that being said, Gruner Veltliner, it is a white varietal, of course, and typically what you would find from an profile standpoint is you get these herbal notes. I say herbal notes. Think like green herbs, a little bit of vegetal notes, some grassy, like fresh cut. Fresh, like low level kind of herbal, fresh herbs, grassy notes. You can get like fresh garden green beans. Some people get wax bean. I don't know how many of us honestly have ever had a fresh wax bean. That's neither here nor there, but I'd say green beans is the best reference. That's more relatable. And you can get white pepper. White pepper, again, all these are really subtle, really pretty expressions. So yeah, you get green beans, fresh kind of green herbs, a little bit of low undertones of fresh grass, and then right when you don't expect it, you get these white flowers and really pretty delicate white flowers. And to me, that is a basic expression of Gruner Veltliner as a varietal. And when you taste it for the first time, maybe don't be hard on yourself if you don't get all of these expressions right away. You might need to come back. You might need to come back and put your nose in the glass and put the wine on your palate a couple times. There's good acidity in the mid palate. The texture on its own can be a rather lean, but what they do is they leave the varietal on the lees, which we'll talk about what lees are later if you're not familiar with that term. Anyways, the lees are essentially the yeast that after they're done doing their job and working to convert the natural sugars in grapes into alcohol, what those yeasts do is they fall to the bottom of the fermentation vessel and they just let them set, and they let the wine set on those lees that have already done their job, and they're just kind of resting at the bottom. And when they do that for a few months, sometimes longer depending on the producer and the expression, it kind of takes these sharp angles that you find in certain varietals and it softens them up a little bit. So this is 3 months on the lees. So not only do you get that leanness, but you get a subtle roundness on your palate. And that is the beauty of Gruner Veltliner. So hopefully that makes you excited to try it. I'm like clearly love this varietal. The producer is organic. The average age of the vines is 10 years, and they're sourcing from Burgenland. Down the road, we'll have some producers that are more site specific and even sometimes single vineyard specific. So we will get there, but for now, this is a nice expression of the varietal to start with, and it's also a low intervention wine, which is good for everybody. All right, have a good evening, or whatever time of day you're watching this. Bye.